Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Uh, Chilling with Mr. B. I'm just sitting here in my little old space, just thinking to myself. I was just looking over a few things and checking out some things before I lay out. I wanted to come and go live with you. Uh, I know that most of you are probably tired, and I hope that y'all had a good day. But I had something I want to talk about. And you ever heard the phrase? Uh, they would only ask, they only just asked our love, I would have given it to them. And people say that a lot. And some people they will. Some people are generous. Some people have generous hearts. Some people have kind hearts. Some people, they do be concerned about others, which is good. It's good. I mean, the Bible tells us to show mercy and be kind to one another and to share with our brothers, and if you see one in need, help our brothers and bear one another's burdens. It tells us about that. But uh it's funny thing about that, it's easier said than done. It's easier, people say, hey, if you only ask, I just give it to them. And most of the time you hear that is when a situation has occurred, and uh, something, of that nature has occurred, and they'll say, well, it would have never happened. All he had to do was ask. But, you know, people have been traumatized so much by asking, people to do things. And some people don't like to deal with handouts and stuff like that. Some people have been beaten down so bad until they just don't want to, communicate with anybody or think about, anybody helping them, because they feel as though, well, nobody's going to help them anyway. Because, uh, when you knock on every door and seem like every door you knock on, either the door is slammed in your face or there's no answer, after a while, you know, it's like being beat down. And after a while, you uh, get tired of knocking at doors. You get tired of, you know, asking people to do this. And I know that you should be able to step up on your own and do your own thing. But sometimes uh, when you really down and out, uh, you have to seek help. And there's nothing wrong with seeking help. There are some people who think that you don't need to seek help, that you need to tough it out, and that you need to, you know, uh, do your thing, do what you got to do. And there are some people, that some situations have them to a point to where they can't really, maneuver like everybody else, because it's something that holds them back, or something that's from the past that it has them weighted down and everything. It's easy to say, well, you take care of yourself, you can get up out of there, you do what it takes to get up out of there. Yeah, it's easy to say it. But when the shoe is on the other foot, you know, uh, when you experience it and you actually uh, walk in this other person's shoes, how would you feel? How would you handle it? How everybody, is not built with uh, strong intuition like us. We can't sit and we can't uh, just think to ourselves that everybody's the same. Well, if I did it, they can do it too. Yeah, well, it may be true to a certain extent, but then look here. Sometimes they need a little help. They need a helping hand, you know. And our job, I mean, we're not to turn nobody away simply because we know that what we did and how we did it, they may not be uh, as strong as you. And I know some people are saying right now, well, if they ain't, that's their problem. And some people say, well, I don't care nothing about nobody but myself. And the thing is about saying that, it's true until you find yourself in that same situation. And then you have to bounce up, you have to seek help, and you have to ask people, to help you, and you have to uh, uh, beg for help and seek ways to get yourself boosted back up to where you need to be. If you haven't walked in that person's shoes, you haven't felt what they felt. You may have been through some things in your life, and you may have suffered a few things, but everybody's suffering is not the same. It's not the same. It is not the same. I mean, you were able to bounce back. Praise the Lord. I'm glad you were able to bounce back. There are many others, that was able to bounce back. There are many others who had been locked up in prison and got out, and they became successful people, and they had people, backing them up, supporting them and everything. But there are others who are trying, have been trying, to become successful and be better and do better things, and better their situation. But it always seems that there's a stumbling block in the way to keep them from climbing, a little bit further uh, than they are. I mean, me myself, hey, uh, day by day, I'm just, I'm here, I'm hanging in here. I'm trying to do my best. I be kind to people, I'm a real kind-hearted person. I don't mind helping somebody. Uh, but I'm human too. I get frustrated and I get a little upset and sometimes, but one thing I'll never do is turn my back on somebody, because if I have it, uh, I'm gonna give it. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And if I can't do it, I'm gonna tell you I can't do it. But we have to think about what the Bible said. The Bible said that, we should love one another and live with one another in peace and harmony, and concern ourselves with other people's situations, because some folks' situation may be worse than yours. But, and I know I'm not getting very many uh, people on here commenting and, joining in on it, but that's okay. Uh, that's as long as you see it, and maybe somebody can get something out of what I'm saying. I know some people might think he just rattling off at the brain, but I'm really not. I'm really talking about some serious stuff here, because we claim to do this and do that, and it's so easy us to say, well, I'll do this, I'll do that, but then when it really come down to it, we really that type of person at heart. We really about what we say, and even in Christian life, things like that. I mean, I believe this, and I'm just gonna be honest with you about that, because I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, and I got faith. I got a lot of faith in Him, but I'm like this here. You, to me, it seemed like it would be kind of double standard to do one part of what God's word tells us, and then you don't do the other part. You see, and there's a verse. It says that, how can you love a God whom you don't see, but yet you don't have love for your brother who you see every day? And it's true, because it's like that. People are dog eat dog. It's a self-preservation type of world going on today. And the only time that I really see people really just come together in unity is when disaster strike, or something like that. When maybe hurricane storms or something come through, and uh, everybody comes together. Everybody pray. Everybody help one another. Everybody. But where we at when it's no storm? Where we at when it's no disaster? How's our heart when it comes to uh, being kind to one another, even those who we don't know. See, those who we don't know is the most important ones, because it's so easy to be kind to somebody you know. It's so easy to have mercy on somebody you love. And then here's the thing about that: not everybody in your family or everybody that say they're your friend is gonna have mercy on you, simply because they just don't see it the way you see it. And that's understandable. I understand that, because they didn't even have mercy on Jesus. I mean, man, I go through some things, and I know a lot of y'all go through some things, but I don't think I could ever went through what he went through. But what was key to me about it is that when he went through it for me, you, and many, many other people. He went through what he went through. So that's why they call it the ultimate sacrifice. You know, it didn't matter to him. People came up and they asked him. He didn't know. Could you heal my daughter? Could you just say the word and my servant be healed? And if I just touch the hem of his garment, Lord, if I could receive my sight, I'm sorry, all those things, you know. And he didn't ask about these people. He just gave them what they asked for. You know, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. And I know that. And it says, asking and shall be given, seeking you shall find, knocking the door will be open. And every day, you know, I spend a whole lot of time uh, knocking on doors that have been shut in my face. I spend a lot of time seeking, you know, true friends and people that you know, would be by you and stand by you. I spend a lot of time doing that, and not only that, I spend a lot of time asking questions, and every answer I get might not be, you know, it just didn't follow through as it's supposed to. And like I said earlier before I started, that type of stuff there will kind of put a damper on you after a while, because it feels like, you know, you're out there and you're all alone, and nobody really, you know, has anything for you. And I know that everybody got their own life to live. I know everybody got their own problems. I know people go through things in life. I do myself, you know. And I'm not saying to become a beggar. I'm not saying to become a freeloader. I'm not saying to do any of those things. But sometimes you got to get up off your pride and you got to ask. And now, on the other hand, in the same note, people, when we see somebody in need, we quick to try to judge them rather than help them. When we see somebody in need, our job is not to judge them. We don't know what their situation is. We don't know what got them in what type of problem they have. We don't know what happened. So we really don't have the right to judge them, you know. And we quick to judge, more quick to judge than we are to help. And that very person that you push aside and you push out the way and you look at them like you better than them. Let me explain something to you. The pride of man, this pride that we have, the Bible says that pride will be brought down to nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? It'll be brought down to nothing. Because first of all, without God, you wouldn't have the strength to be able to complete the task that it took for you to earn what you have. You didn't do it by yourself. Physically in the natural, you put in the work. You did the moving around. You did the walking around. You did the paperwork. You did the lifting and the hauling. You did the thinking, and you did you put the nails in. You tapped the screws in, all that stuff. You put the cars together. You did all this technology and everything. Physically, you did that. But spiritually, God did it. And that's what you need to understand. And we take that for granted because when God blesses us, we get high and mighty. We don't know how to bless others. God will put somebody in front of you that need a blessing just to see how you're going to respond. And in that note, he's watching. He's watching. He's watching. He's checking to see how you're going to respond. You know, you have to be careful of who you entertain. You got to be careful who you turn down. You got to be careful who you push aside. You got to be careful of who you push away. Because the very person that you push away might be the very person that's going to have to be there for you. And that's the God's honest truth. And I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it happen so many times that you push people away and they turn around, have to be the person to help you. And then you can't understand why they helped you. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning. Kind heart, kind spirit, compassionate, loving, willing to do whatever it takes to make sure your decision, your situation is better. Can we do the same thing by making somebody else's situation better? Think about it. This is Mr. B. I'm glad y'all stopped in. If you didn't catch me on the live, you can catch me on the playback. I hope that you look at it, listen, and hope there's something said in it that will capture your attention and that'll make you think. Because there's not enough frustration in the world for me to turn away and turn my back and not care about somebody. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Do me a favor. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, like button, and thank you. And y'all have a blessed one.